Today we will have a session to talk about how to automatically assign the JIRA issue according the certain conditions or different conditions you passed to the script runner. The idea is like, okay, when I have a new issue come in, or when I have a new issue transition, right? I want it to be assigned automatically according to some conditions. So let's start to see how it works. In this session, you will see we will have different skills required. We will use a script runner, and also we will use a workflow post function to add a new post function use a script runner. And then we need some groovy scripting skills. There is some code here. This is based on data center version, but later on in another session I will talk about the cloud version. So we can start as a test. For example, if I created a JIRA issue now, so I created a JIRA issue without do anything here. Let's see what happened. So I created issue. It was assigned to user one, and let's do another test. Second test. Now I would like to change my priority because in some case it's a high priority or it's escalate, right? I want the issue to be assigned to a senior developer or the principal architect, something like that. I want to highlight the issue. So if I select the priority highest, I don't want to assign it to the user one, which I have already tested, right? Instead, I want to assign to somebody else. Let's do this example to see. I create the issue. If I open the issue, you see the issue was assigned to manager one. Instead, the first one I created, it was assigned to user one. So it assigned to manager one according to some condition, right? So because this is what I required, because the priority is set to highest. Let's see what I have implemented. Let's go to the workflow of this project. If I go to the workflow configuration of the project setting of this project, if I edit the workflow, I look at what is configured in my workflow. I created the issue, but it means like all the workflow can have this setup. I just create issue. If you want assign issue, transition issue, it also works. So this is just example for how we configure in the post function. So it means like all the other transition will also work. I have post function and validator here. So the post function is something if you want to do some extra action after transition is executed, right? So that is the idea of how the post function work. So if I open the post function here, I can add a post function. So JIRA allows you to add multiple different cases of the post function here, and instead you can see also I have the script runner. Script runner has extended the post function of JIRA. It has some assign. By default. It has some assign. Post function we can use, which is very powerful. And what I used is this one. I try to update the issue field, and I can assign the assignee to specify the individual user, right? So this is the first case when you guys say, okay, why my issue is assigned to user one? It is because I try to automatically assign all my issue into user one. And the second case is I'm trying to have assigned to manager one is because I want to set the assignee to manager one when the priority is highest. So I used another post function here, which is a custom script runner post function here. This is really flexible because you can add anything here. In case it follows the groovy script, you can do that. Here is my code here. I will open the one I have already configured, instead create a new one. Let's go back here, and we can open the code here. And so the logic is pretty simple. We have declared the log because we will have some debug log to make sure like the code is really running as expected, right? And also we are trying to get the priority value of the current issue. Let's say, okay, if the priority value is higher, what should I do? I will assign to user 2. And if it's highest, I will assign to manager 1, right? So this is the logic. Pretty simple, but I think it's very valuable here. Let's go back. I want to also share something about the very critical feature of scriptrunner. It's like if it's successfully running, so it will have a audit log here. And because we also added some log in our code, right? Like the priority is highest and the set assignee to which user. The reason is because here I have added the setting the assignee to the user, and I have added the log to debug my priority, which means like if I didn't meet my behavior, right, I can debug using this kind of stuff. And go back to here, is it really shows something really useful. If it's successful, what is a log, what is the time running this post function, right? So I try to combine one. The default one is like I will use a JIRA standard post function to set my assignee as user 1, but the second case is showing you, okay, I'm trying to use some advanced script runner code to assign my assignee according to different conditions. This condition can be really customized according to your requirement. I'm trying to use priority here, but you can use anything else like ATU type project, project key, project name, label, any field, or even like some variables you can fetch from outside if you have the internet or REST API access to external resources. That also is possible, right? So let's go back to our documentation here. We will review like, okay, we are trying to use the post function of JIRA, and also we use the script runner post function, which allows you to customize the code here. And we also use the groovy script, and I show the groovy script here. Note like this is data center based, but in the future we will have another server the cloud version for you guys. Okay, feel free to play with this example, and if you like my video, please sum up and subscribe. Thank you so much.